say how like eerie the mother's voice was? Like whoever was doing that?
I thought I read somewhere where it was like a couple different people that the voices. But no, yeah, that opening scene when you first see when she kind of overhears the argument.
Yeah.
When Marion overhears the argument, that scene, and the mother's talking, and it's like you're right. It's like super creepy the way she's talking.
Because she's like, "What do you think you're doing? You're gonna bring a woman in my house?" And he's like, "You're gonna make her food, and then what's next?" Basically, just talking shit to him. But then he's going back and forth, so they play it really well, where you think that there is somebody there, but then it's revealed that he has like a split personality disorder, and that that the mother has seemingly taken over his mind completely. And I don't know if they really say this outright, but I think it's kind of hinted at that when they reveal like how his mother actually died, and the mother and the boyfriend is because before the mom met her love interest, she was all about Norman, and I feel like they hint at like some kind of incestuous thing that was happening between them. So then when she gets the boyfriend, Norman really can't handle it, so I think he ends up poisoning both of them, right?
Yeah, he ends up poisoning both of them. Yeah. Does it touch on that subject? I think you kind of get the vibe that was going on, and that's the reason why he was.
Because he's pretty much like he snaps, he kills both of them, and then he inhabits the personality of his mother. And then, of course, they had the funeral for her and everything, and then he ends up at some point going out and basically being a grave robber and digging up his mother's body. And he goes through, I forget what they say exactly, but like he does something to kind of mummify the body to keep it like from.
I think he uses the same, like the chemicals that he for the taxidermy, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he tried to preserve her as much as he could.
No, he's like, I don't really like stuffing beasts, only birds. So
well, I like that whole it's the whole like bird situation with Hitchcock, and now he uses birds a lot to like foreshadow things to come.
Yeah.
Like with her last name being Crane, and then like the whole taxidermy, and how like in that beginning scene in the parlor where like he says that line, how he doesn't like doing that, but he likes stuffing birds. It's kind of like foreshadowing that he's gonna kill her, I guess.
Yeah,
I like that last scene with the psychiatrist and all the guys in the outside the room where they're holding him, and he's kind of just going back and forth on why he's doing the things he's doing, and the reveal of the mom very kind of noir-y. The actor, whoever he is like perfect for that role, with like this cigar in his mouth.
Yeah.
Kind of just like nonchalantly telling them all this stuff, this terrible stuff.
One of the dudes is like, they're like, yeah, he dresses up like in women's clothes, and they automatically just throw out, oh, because he's a transvestite, and then the psychiatrist is like, no, actually it's because he really believes that he is like his mother, and that he is this person. So I thought it's a pretty cool kind of detail where, people are so quick to like assume something without seeing like the bigger picture, I guess.
Picture, yeah.
And then of course like the closing kind of slow zoom in shot of Anthony Perkins when he's just like sitting there with Mother's voice kind of running through his mind, where she's like, basically that the mother has thrown her own son under the bus, where she's like,
yeah,
he tried to pin this all on me, but I could never kill anybody, and I should have stopped him a long time ago, but I don't even have like, I'm not violent whatsoever, and there's like this fly buzzing around, and she's like, watch, I'm not even gonna swat this fly. So then they're gonna, when they see that, they're gonna say, oh, look at her, she wouldn't even harm a fly. And
then that scene of just him looking like super insane into the camera, and it ends.
Yeah, the that kind of Kubrick-esque smirk that he does.
Yes.
It's great. And then I don't know if you noticed, but they like imposed, it's like for a split second, but they imposed like or they transition into like the skull of his mother. Skull. And then we see of course like them draining the swamp or tar pit or whatever that was, and bringing out Marion's car. It's crazy that they did two more sequels to this original one, and they were able to get Anthony Perkins back.
Perkins to do it, yeah.
Because I know
that second one come out.
82, and I think at first he was like no, like I don't want to do it. Like he didn't have fond memories of that role for some reason, but they were able to, I guess, with the screenplay, persuade him to come on board, and then they go even crazier with the story, basically saying that like the mom from the first one wasn't really his mom, and that it was actually this other lady who was like doing the killings for him or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Who he ends up like, he's and Norman goes crazy, and then he ends up attacking that lady, and then it's like the whole cycle starts again.
They did the two movies and then the show, right? Like the prequel Bates Motel.
Yeah, with Vera Farmiga, right? Yep.
Yeah. And that was on for a while, right? A couple seasons?
I think they went on for, don't quote me, but like 5 or 6 seasons. It lasted a while. I think they got to do like their initial, like their whole concept, like they ended it because they were done.
Oh, okay.
They didn't get canceled. It did really well.
Yeah,
it was a good cast. I always thought that was interesting because it's a prequel, but they made it contemporary still. So I was like, well, are you guys leaning into like, so you can go and like do the movies like in a series form from that, like kind of growing with that one, with that kid, which would be a crazy idea, but I'm not sure why they chose to make it contemporary, unless it was just a budget issue, because things, to make things period or authentic period, I should say, it costs a good amount of money. Did you like the show? Did you watch it?
I watched like the first season. I loved it. I just never, like, it was one of those things where I just never finished it. Yeah, how about you?
Yeah, actually, I just don't remember like everything, but I did finish. I finished it.
Does it like lead into the movie? Like, does it stop right before kind of that?
Actually, yeah. It's basically setting you up for the first movie.
So we're gonna have to talk about that dumpster fire of a
the remake.
Remake.
Gus Van Sant's arts, or trying to be artsy film adaptation. It's basically a shot-for-shot color version with a really good cast that just fails in every capacity.
Yeah, it really does. Like I was telling you earlier, I'd seen it and then I wanted to watch it again. It's one of those things where like it just like did not need to be made.
Especially because Gus Van Sant has, sometimes he's really, really art house, but I don't think I've seen anything that I really hated of his until this. Because when I watched the remake, I should say, of Psycho, it was my first time the other day. And I watched it to kind of compare and contrast them between, this one and the original. And I had heard that this remake was really bad, and I was just kind of curious, and then we had just done Freaky, so it was relevant with Vince Vaughn, and as I talked about in that show, I haven't seen him really do anything like super violent or where he is, like the actual villain archetype, and so I wanted to see how he did as Norman Bates, and as much as I love him, it's just like, I don't know if he was just following orders or something, but his performance is really weird as Bates in this one.
I think that everyone tries a little too hard, and it does not work at all.
Yeah, it's like they're like a cut, like copy and pasting from the OG, and it's like, no, the OG works because they are in fact back in that era.
It could have maybe worked if they didn't do like a shot-for-shot remake of it. Yeah. Maybe kind of do his own thing. But like you said, it just does not work.
Yeah, it was super strange that they were like got the their OG screenplay, and everybody legit reads and tries to mimic the first film, and that's it. That's the movie. And then
didn't they bring in like Elfman to like kind of rearrange the score as well?
Yeah, but then it didn't make sense because they put in pieces and parts, and it just seems like, again, they're trying really hard. They're like, oh, this is the same, but we're different or whatever. But it's like, no, that's the last thing you should have done. It's just kind of, it's like, first of all, you should have changed the screenplay so it's not dated, because some of the things they're doing and saying, they don't make sense for, like, how do you say, like, where they're at or the time that they're in. It's just like, people don't talk like that anymore. Like, I can accept that, and from Hitchcock, because that's the actual time that they were shooting in, but not from you guys, because you're just doing this to be like, you're just doing it on purpose. Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
Something very like strange while watching the first one is the scene where the highway patrol, like, he pulls her over like instantly, and I've only seen the remake once, and I maybe saw it like maybe a year or two after it came out, so like 99, 2000. But in the original one, when she gets pulled over, like, I instantly thought of what James Remar, who plays the highway patrol officer in the remake. Yeah. So when I went back and watched it, I was like, what the hell? Like, I don't remember this at all. Like, but the actor who played him, who played the cop in the first one, just reminded me so much of like that like, he has that distinct like face and the features and his voice, even with I think the CHP officer never even takes off his glasses, and I was like, damn, did James Remar's dad was in Psycho? Like, I had to Google it because I was, and then I rewatched the remake today, and I was like, what the hell? Like, did he do that on purpose?
Yeah, like, was it just because he knew that they looked alike? That's really weird. But yeah, talking about that scene too, we skipped over. That's a really pretty awkward scene for her, because it's just like like pestering her, like if he knows something or trying to.
Something.